down those lessons because, I have, from the business standpoint, I've learned a lot in those 13 years coming in as a rookie, like you said, having to change teams, having a role from just a at-large member of the union all the way to the executive committee, having to negotiate, things with the league just as a group of players for things outside of football. Like I've had those experiences, and so yeah, and now there's a new kind of group of leadership, and so I find myself more so in an advisory role, just to pass down those lessons as they, take the game further than we did.
Malcolm Jenkins here on the Rich Eisen Show. If you don't mind, I will ask you a paparazzi type question.
Okay.
What do you think about Jameis's ability to come in and win ball games? I mean, now Dennis Allen's there, no Sean Payton, Michael Thomas is coming back. I don't know what is happening with Alvin Kamara. So what do you make of the Saints 2022 outlook?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is going to be predicated on what Jameis can do. But because I think last year we were really excited about the team that we had. Like, our defense is the best defense I've been a part of. We had everything in place. Even with losing Drew Brees, we knew that we had some pieces. And Jameis came out playing well. And I think he spending that time behind Drew and Sean is really understanding how to manage a game. Still, he's going to be the bombs over back. He just loves to,
of course,
stretch the field.
He has the arm for it.
He has the arm for it. But it's about, being smart about his decision-making. And we saw it before he got injured. And so hopefully now it's, what does he look like when he comes back? Is he going to be that same quarterback? Is he trending in that direction? I believe so. I think he's a phenomenal leader. And I never would have said that until I got in the locker room with him. But he's somebody that I think the team gravitates around. And they already have strong leaders in place. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, now putting Tyrann Matthews, Landry in.
Right.
They've got a ton of support, veteran support, to where all of those parts won't be on Jameis. And so he can focus on his play. And I think in a situation like that, he'll have success.
And as if you needed more Buckeyes on the team. I mean, they go get Olave.
Yeah.
He's really, really good.
Yes. They got a lot of weapons that, and they love to draft Buckeyes.
I know that.
I
know that. Did you get a sense that Sean Payton was thinking of tapping out?
No.
Last year?
No. I don't. Any good coach is not going to, you're not going to show signs that your coach is thinking about quitting. That probably wouldn't bode well in the locker room. But, I think it was a little bit surprising, but, you be in the game long enough, it's not many things surprising.
Right. And so, all right. And then what about your other old spot, Philadelphia, and Jalen Hurts, the question about whether he can take another step forward. I do believe in him. I like him. Yeah. I like him a lot. What do you think of what the Eagles are building and their ability to maybe overtake the Cowboys in that division? What do you think?
I think what the difference that you're seeing between the Cowboys and the Eagles is the Cowboys have their franchise players that they're building around, and the question is, can they win a championship with those players? But every year they're, pretty much in the running. They're a competitive team and can win games with the people they have. I think with the coaching change and just some of the loss of a lot of the veterans in the Eagles locker room, the stability of that culture isn't there yet. And a lot of that is now trying to fall on the quarterback. And that's really not – it's a lot different than how I describe what the Saints locker room is, where you have all of these, kind of other leaders who can really develop the entire team, develop a winning culture, and it's not on just the quarterback to determine if we win or lose. And that seems to be the rhetoric coming out of Philly. And so I think it's one of those things that he's got the talent. Like, he's producing. It's how long is that leash and how much support are y'all willing to put into it. And they've said they've been all in, and he's definitely got to prove it. But it's a different situation. It's not like he has like he's in a situation that, where he can thrive and shine. He's got to really put it on his back and lead that team. And so it'll be interesting to see. They're in a tough. It's always tough in the NFC East, but it's always competitive. Every year flops. It's never like they have to be 2 years, 3 years out before they can compete. every year they'll be able to compete for the East. So we'll see.
Well, I know, and again, I know you kind of smiled before about the stat that I had mentioned. I do it every time with you, is that you're the only guy to have, beaten Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in Super Bowls. You did Peyton Manning. You beat him back in his day when he was with the Colts, and then you took care of Brady when you were with the Eagles. So, in that respect, with Brady, what, from your perspective, has the Saints been able to do since he's gotten to Tampa?
Yeah,
and just absolutely, kryptonized him. Yeah. What are the Saints able to affect, and might be able to do it again with Brady coming back one more time for Tampa? Do you think?
Well, I think
Malcolm,
it's not much to do with Tom. Actually, it's the Saints' defense, especially the secondary, was built to beat Tampa Bay. And so that rivalry and that kind of, competition was there before Tom got there. And so when you look at, those 2 years, you had myself matched up with Gronk. That was a good matchup. You have Lattimore on Mike Evans. It's a great matchup. C.J. Garner-Johnson's in the slot was on A.B. or Godwin. That's a great matchup. On the other side was Adebo or Janoris Jenkins, who can match up with any third receiver. And so there's not like Tom Brady's whole game is take advantage of matchup issues. There are none when the Saints played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think that 1 year where we beat them twice and then they beat us in the playoffs,
yes,
they won that game off of running the ball and their defense taking the ball away. And I think that to me is when Brady tries to win that game throwing it, that plays right into the Saints' hands. So that game, that style of play, Brady has to win that game with his left hand. And I think that's what makes that matchup so interesting, so difficult for him, because what he does best, what works every single week, is not going to work against the Saints.
So you're not there. Gronk's not there now.
Right.
They just got Kyle Rudolph, which makes you think maybe I find that funny. Like, well, the door's closed to Gronk. I don't know about that. Like, if Gronk calls up like around October, or Brady calls Gronk around October, November, and he says yes, they might find a few reps for him. But
I bet.
Right. So and Godwin's hurt. So do you think the way things are constituted, obviously now Tyrann Mathieu there, the advantage is still towards the Saints when they match up in week 2 and whenever they do match up? Because that might be the NFC South in a nutshell, with due respect to Carolina.
I mean, the fact that they have to start off with 2 conference opponents to start the game, those first 2 weeks they're gonna show up later in the year. And so I think those are going to be really important games. And I think a lot of it's going to come down to less about Tom Brady against the Saints defense and more so what will the Saints offense look like against the Tampa Bay defense? Because I've seen, we've seen the explosiveness of the Saints, and we know how that has been.
Yes.
We want to know if that's going to continue. But that Tampa Bay defense is the wild card. Like, when they show up, they make things happen. And so I think that's really the matchup that I'm looking at. I think it's going to be pretty much the same from the Saints defense and Tampa Bay's offense. That'll be a good battle. They'll make plays, but that defense is going to match up well. It's going to be against the Saints offense and the Bucs defense, who can, take care of the football, create those plays, and manage that game the best.
It's great to see you.
Yeah,
it really is great to see you. Don't be a stranger. Certainly, if you don't mind, I'll reach out to you, just check in with you during the season. If you'd like to chop it up any way, just let me know.
I'm acting all cool and calm and collected now. But come see
what, around
me.
October 10th, you'll be just like,
if I find myself doing drills in the backyard, I'll just come here.
Anytime. How can people get involved in anything that you're doing? How can they go?
Actually, this is like one of the few times I'm actually not promoting many things, but anybody can always help. Still doing great charity work through the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation.
Okay.
Supporting things in 4 different states. So anybody wants to get involved and continue to support what we do, especially now that I'm not playing anymore, the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation.org. And yes, the is in the name. The Malcolm Jenkins Foundation. .org.
And I guess you're allowed to use the without payment.
We have a trademark. We have a trademark.
There it is. There it is. Look at the fine print. Look at the fine print. It says Malcolm can use it anytime he wants. That's what it says there. Fine print. And the states are, let me guess, Pennsylvania, New Orleans, New Jersey, and Ohio?
Yep.
There we go. Okay, very good. Don't forget, what exit are you from in New Jersey? What exit are you from?
Exit, well, depending on which side of town you want to go, I get off at exit 10.
Exit 10 on the Turnpike.
Turnpike, yeah.
And on the Garden State what Parkway? What are we? 10, by the way.
Garden
I used to
State
get
Parkway, you'd be down towards
10.
like,
I think I used to get on. Isn't 10? 10
9